Hello everyone and welcome to the Adelaidecottage podcast. My name is Shauna and I am coming to you from a suburb of Buffalo, New York, where I live with my husband, our two small boys, and our two cats. This is a podcast about knitting, cross-stitching, and quilting, and sometimes sewing. You can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Adelaidecottage. That information will be in the down bar as well. And I also have an Etsy shop where I sell my hand-dyed yarns. So feel free to check that out if you knit or crochet. Today, I'm going to start with knitting because there's not as much of it as cross-stitching because this is the end of Stitch-Maynia. If you watched my last episode, you will have seen that my plan was to start 31 new cross-stitching projects in the month of May, one each day. I did not get all 31 started. I got 21 started, and I'm not mad about it. I could have done all of them, but that just would have been stressful, and that takes away from the fun of it, I think. So we have spent lots of family time together over the last month. We had Mother's Day, which was amazing. My boys surprised me with a second Pandora bracelet with a bunch of charms, which was so thoughtful, and I love that they picked them out themselves. They took me out to breakfast along with my mother and father-in-law, and then we went to an antique shopping, and then we went to my in-laws for dinner. We did some gardening. It was a really wonderful day, and they also surprised me with some cross-stitching charts, which I'll show you later. We also went camping for the first time in our new camper. We went to Darien Lake Amusement Park, which is about 25 minutes away. It's not as relaxing as camping in the woods, but it was still a lot of fun. So I got quite a bit of knitting done when I was there, not so much cross-stitch. So I'm going to show you what I worked on. So in this bag of goodness, I have my Comfort Fade cardigan. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. It's knit in my hand-dyed yarns and a DK weight. And I showed you this on the last episode as well. I actually wore it. I don't think it had this, no, it didn't have this sleeve on it. But I was wearing it backwards. I realized it when I was camping. I'm like, I was showing them this sweater backwards. It's a cardigan. But while I was there, I was able to knit the rest of this sleeve. I just had it started last time. So there it is. So as you can see, it fades from this turquoise into these colors, and then it fades back into the turquoise. And the cuff is like a garter ribbing. And then I started the fading on this sleeve as well. The bottom ribbing is all done. So once this sleeve is done, all I have to do is attach the collar and it will be complete. And I love this project, I really do. I think it's really pretty. I love how the yarn colors fade. And I would definitely knit another one. The only thing I didn't enjoy about it is, since it's a cardigan, I couldn't knit in the round. You have to knit a row and then purl a row, and I hate purling. I would much rather knit, but that's okay. So these needles are the I Say Likey. And it's a fixed circular needle on a 40-inch cable. And the needle sizes change throughout the pattern, so yes, 2 different sizes it uses. Very, very nice pattern. When I got home from camping, I wanted to pick up my other cardigan that I have on the needles. This is the Talam cardigan by Stolen Stitches. And here's a picture of it. This is being knit in Bijou Basin yarn. Himalayan spun, I believe. I don't know what I did with the label. But this requires a lot of concentration. So it's been a while since I knit on it. And I knew I would need to concentrate to, number one, figure out where I was in the pattern. And I mark it, but it's still, I have a few different places marked. So I just needed to figure that out. And I needed to be able to concentrate as I knit. Because this lace pattern is pretty, it's not, well, I guess it is pretty intricate. It's not a lace weight yarn, but the lace pattern is pretty intricate. So you just need to concentrate quite a bit. There's lots of areas where there's multiple stitches put into one stitch. You're knitting from the front, you're knitting from the back, you're twisting. So I just needed to concentrate. Well, I had, let me see where my stitch marker is. I had a little snafu that brought me to tears. I started knitting when I got home from camping, right where my cute little sheepy progress keeper is, and did a whole repeat. Do you see how you can barely see the eyelets like you can here and below the stitch marker? I was knitting the pattern for the sleeves in the round and not for the actual cardigan by row. So of course the pattern is different, and you just can't see, the eyelets. So I got really upset because when the lace is like this and you're knitting multiple stitches into each stitch, it's very hard to, you know, put the stitches on, what do they call it, a lifeline, and rip back, because on top of that, the pattern has no stitch counts, which I kind of have an issue with. I'm upset about that. I feel like whenever you have lace, you should have stitch counts in the pattern. There are stitch counts, I believe, for the very beginning. I don't know, I'd have to look, but for the lace, no stitch counts. So I went to my husband and I'm like, I just want to throw this project bag with the project into the middle of the street and watch a car run over it. Or rip the whole thing out. Either one would have been fine. And my son, Aiden, was like, Mama, we don't give up. If you give up, then you fail. He's like, you can do it. You can figure it out. Don't rip it out. So, and I also made a little voice message to my knitting group and told them there's a knitting related emergency voicemail on Voxer that you need to listen to. So I got all their feedback as well. So what I decided to do was not rip it out, but to keep going, because I feel like even though it's noticeable, I don't think many people will notice unless you're a knitter or you've knit this chart before, I don't know. But basically, the only difference is these eyelets aren't as large. So I'm just going to try to keep going and see what happens. If it looks terrible as I keep going, then I'll rip it out. But each row takes like 20 to 30 minutes because of all of the lace. So I don't know. Even though it just looks like a few rows, which it was, it took a really long time to do. So that's where I am on that. I love this cardigan. I'd really like to have it done so that I could wear it. So I'm going to try to keep it alive and fix my mistake, or at least move forward from it. This is in a little bag that I made specifically for this project, a little drawstring bag. Okay, let's see. else do I have for you? Oh, I knit a little bit on my husband's Harry Potter sock. This is in a So Sweet Violet project bag that she gifted me. So very thoughtful, and I love it. This is knit out of Adelaidecottage yarns, which are my hand-dyed yarns, in the Game of Quidditch colorway. So, I was right about here when you saw it last, so I knit down, there's a huge fly in here, and I did a fish lips kiss heel, and now I'm working in the round down the foot. So one of them will be done soon, and then I have to start the other one. And these I knit 60 stitches. Is this a 1x1 rib? 1x1 ribbing for the cuff. I did 60 rows for the leg. I think 25 rows for the cuff. And I knit them on my Chowgu Minis US size 0. I love these needles. So that's it for sock knitting this time around. I want to show you some yarns that are still in the shop for those of you who are interested, and then I'm going to show you a finished quilt, and then I'll go into cross stitching. So I have, I'll leave the link to my shop in the description below in case you'd like to visit, but I have Mother's Day tea on a couple of different bases. I have Grandpa's Pickup, and this, it looks kind of purple when I took pictures of it and on this screen, but in real life it's more of a blue. This is Socks for Dad. And this is Saltwater Taffy. And those are the only 4 colorways left in the shop for right now. I'm going to be dyeing more, probably in another week or 2. So you can look out for those. I always post on Instagram too whenever I plan a shop update. Okay, so here I wanted to show you my camping quilts that I intended to make for my 2 boys. I wanted them each to have like a camping lap quilt to kind of put over them in the evening when we're sitting by the campfire when it gets a little bit chilly. And I had this fabric for a really long time. It's by Riley Blake and it's called Greatest Adventure. And I used my AccuQuilt Go with the rag shape die because it die cuts all of these little fringe cuts in for you so you don't have to sit there with scissors and do it yourself. So it's very, very simple. This is one of them. I have another one to finish. All the squares are cut and sewn together with the batting in the middle and the backing on it. I just need to sew the squares together, and then I need to throw both of these in the washing machine and dryer so that the edges get all fringy and fun. So I'll stand up to show you. I just love these little superhero kids because my boys always put capes on and play with their swords. Little trails and tents. And these, let me see if I can get a different one of the words that you can see a little bit more clearly. Isn't that cute? I love that. Here's some more tents. And there it is. So I just want to do the other one. I wanted to have both of them done for the most recent camping trip that we went on, but again, I was feeling stressed to get it complete and I would have had to go to bed super late, and I just figured they'll have them for the next trip. We camp a lot over the summer, so I will take a picture of them holding their quilts at our next camping trip so that you can see. You ready for some cross stitch? You've waited patiently. I also, at the end of this, have 2 giveaways to announce and 2 things to give away. A little bit of haul, some happy mail from people, and that'll be it. So I'm going to try to go quickly through my Stitch-Maynia because it's been a month and I have 21 projects to show you. With just, most of them just have tiny starts, but it's a start. Before I get into that, I do have 2 finishes. I have a finished object and a fully finished object. So this is the finished object. It is Lizzie Kate Summer Smalls. I did this summer chart. And this is what it looks like. I did substitute. I used all DMC except for the 2 pinks. So this is Clay Pot, I believe. Yes, Clay Pot by Classic Colorworks. And the darker one is Wild Berries by Classic Colorworks. And then for the green on the hill and on these leaves, I used DMC Variegated number 94, I believe. Yes. So that's that one. And then my fully finished object is the Bless Our Home design by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this was a stitch along with the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, Priscilla and Chelsea, and the finishing was also inspired by Priscilla's finishing. So thank you, Priscilla, for all of the teaching that you do on how to finish cross stitch projects. So, oh my gosh, that fly is scaring me whenever it flies around. I hate the buzzing sound of flies and bees. This tray I got at a thrift shop for a couple bucks. I covered a button with fabric and hot glue. These sprigs and this bow came from a decoration I purchased at the Christmas tree shop, and I just took it apart and glued it all together. So this is on a magnet. See? And then I attached the cross stitch to a back piece with gingham. And it's done. I really enjoyed stitching this. This was fun. I did change out some of the colors. I think up here there were supposed to be red flowers, so I changed them to white with a brown center. And I think that's all the changes I made. So that was fun. Okay, let's get started on this Stitch-Maynia. They're not in any sort of order, but I did work on Halloween rules on the Wear a Costume. I had the header done before Maynia, but then I started this little dog. This part of the chart I started during Maynia. And I'm using all DMC for this. This one is Little House Needleworks, Louise and Henry, because sheep. And I did the bird on the top of the sheep and then started the sheep's outline. This one is Plum Street Samplers Cinnamon Stars. And I did make some color substitutions. I made a whole list of them, so I will, if any of you are interested, just let me know and I can let you know what I used. But I used I'm using a lot of classic colorworks and whatever I had on hand from Victoria Motto, or Moto, however you say it, and then some DMC. So Little House Needleworks Schoolhouse. All I did was the little tree. I did my, I started June Wordplay by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I am going to be pulling out the word time and restitching it in the same part of the variegated thread as summer. So I did change the colors on that one. My allergies are like really bad right now, so I apologize for itching my nose and on the camera. This one is Stars and Stripes Forever by Bent Creek. And this is what I did. Just this left part of the design here. And that's all in DMC. Bobbing for Pumpkins, which stay tuned till the end, or no, it's not this one, never mind. It's a different one. But this is how far I got on that. I worked on her dress. And then Little House Needleworks Farmer's Daughter. I love this one. I worked on the little girl. And she is on the same fabric as Bobbing for Pumpkins. I have to cut it. This one is Sheep in the Meadow by Cottage Needleworks. And all I did was this top border. Prairie Schooler, Santa Rides. I'm doing the hot air balloon first. And that's how far I got, using all the called for DMC. Betsy's Tart, Plum Street Samplers. And I did the balloons, the top three. Lizzie Kate Cozy Christmas Wishes. This is a free chart on her website, so I'm going to show it to you, just so that you can see what it will look like when it's done. And I did Cozy Christmas. Try to stay as organized as I can. This one is Little House Needleworks Curly QU, because sheep. And I did the top part of the border. Plum Street Samplers, Wilhelmina. I did the outside part of the sheep's body. This one is Lizzie Kate Seasons. I'm starting the summer one right here. And I did the little top of the strawberry. Little House Needleworks Milady Strawberries. I got that part done. Little House Needleworks Spot of Coffee. Only one more after this, guys. And here's the top border. And I'm going to change it to tea by the candle's light instead of coffee, because I drink tea at night and coffee in the morning. Because it says coffee by the candle's light warms a heart into the night. So this one will just say tea. She provides both charts for you to make the change if you want to. And then lastly is Spirits and Spells by Brenda Gervais. And I didn't have the floss for this one, so I forgot to tell you, we took a ride out to my closest local needlework shop, which is an hour and a half away in Rochester. It's the Golden Thread, and I got the floss that I need for it. So I made a small start on this. I don't even know if I'm showing it to you in the right direction. No idea. That might be an issue when I restart. I don't even know which direction this is. But, yeah, I picked up these two flosses. The rest I'll do in DMC. Let's see, what is that? Gold Leaf and Olive. Weeks Dye Works Olive and Gentle Art Gold Leaf. Now, this is a super cute design, isn't it? There's one for you. I had some really generous people contact me. And on the last episode, I mentioned that I wanted to learn how to do punch needle. I do have a rug hooking set, but not punch needle. It's different. Like, the rug hooking comes with big strips of wool fabric, like old t-shirts that were ripped up and things like that, and the needle is more like a crochet hook. I should have brought it over here for you to see. But I don't know if they're used interchangeably, because I was looking on Instagram at punch needle and then I looked for rug hooking and I was seeing a lot of the same projects. So I don't know. If you know, let me know, please, in the comment section. But one of my very best friends, Erica, her mother-in-law is a crafter, and she contacted me and said that she has a punch needle set that she would like to give to me, because she just didn't think she'd ever get to it. So I graciously accepted, gave her a little thank you in return, but she gave me this Ultra punch needle set and the weaver's cloth to get started. So her name is Sue. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it so much. And she also included one of these to give to you for a giveaway on my podcast / FlossTube. She bought 2 of them by mistake and is giving one to me to give to you. So to enter for this chart, what question should I have you answer? I'd like to know what your favorite overdyed floss color is. I know I've answered this on a few other floss tubes, and I think it's fun to look through them. So just let me know what your favorite overdyed floss colorway is in order to be entered to win. Please do not say giveaway. Please do not say free, or your comment will be deleted, because people will just look for those comments and try to win this pattern, and they don't even stitch. So Again, this is called Spirits and Spells, and I will pick a winner and announce it on the next episode. So thank you again, Sue. That was so very generous and thoughtful of you. Okay, and then I got some other extremely happy mail. On one of the stash unload groups, there's ISO threads where you can put things, you know, charts that you're in search of. That's what it stands for. And people who have them can contact you and offer to sell theirs to you, etc., etc. So I really wanted the Lizzie Kate, what do they call this? The yearbook? Yearbook set? Yeah. Where you get a bit of January and you get each month. There's 2 months in each flip it bit. Oh my goodness, is there 2? No, there's 1. Goodness gracious. Okay. That's because I'm looking at the back of these. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I put in the ISO thread that I would like to purchase these from someone because Lizzie Kate is retired. Most of you already know, but I really loved these designs, and you can stitch them together or separately. I'm going to do mine separately so that I have a new cross-stitch chart to put out with each month. And a woman named Rhonda contacted me and said she saw that I'm a nurse, and she's a nurse as well, and she wants to share the love and pass these along to me at no charge. And of course I said, please let me pay you for them. You know, you could sell them and get a lot of money, etc. And she just wanted to be kind, and that meant so much to me. So Rhonda, if you're watching, she did say that she didn't know it at the time, but afterwards I said, I have a FlossTube, so I'll be showing these on FlossTube. And she's like, oh my goodness, I watched your episode the other day. So Rhonda, if you are watching, thank you so very much for being so kind and generous and sending these along to me. I will for sure be stitching them and then passing the love when I am done. So I have all of the months for that. Then I purchased Lizzie Kate's yearbook because, again, I just love her designs. So these are pretty similar, except just not focusing on the name of the month, but kind of adding more design elements to each. And so I purchased these. Each one has 2 months. So this one has January and February. Let's see. I had a pen pal, Gisela. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Gisela. It's a beautiful name. Gisela. Sent me a beautiful handmade card and a sweet note inside, and she sent along a few other goodies as well. So she sent me this vintagey fabric, which I think is adorable. Look at this. Little kids on the beach playing. So cute. And as well as this 32 count natural white polka dot print linen. And Country Cottage Needleworks Snow Girls Cottage. And Little House Needleworks 3 Snowy Hills. So thank you, Gisela. I appreciate it very much. Very, very sweet of you to do that. Another round of happy mail is from another Rhonda, who's a pen pal as well, which, my dear friends, please don't ever feel like you need to send me anything along with pen pal letters, except for the letter. But these are very much appreciated. She was going through her craft room and decided to send me a few things that she was going to get rid of, so I have some vintage zippers and some vintage fabrics. And she also sent along some Ada. Very pretty, right? These will be put into quilts for sure. So thank you very much, Rhonda. I appreciate your generosity as well. Okay, I'm going to show you what my family bought for me for Mother's Day. The cross-stitch related purchases. Lizzie Kate's 6 Fat Men series. They bought me all of those. And this is what they look like stitched together, which I'll probably do them like that. And Christmas rules. Aren't they just the best? So, very, very excited about that. I also purchased tingles from a local needle workshop online. I was missing, no, you know what? This was from my local needle workshop that I went to, but I was missing 2 of them. So, yes. These 2 I had to order on 123 Stitch, and they were the only 2 that they had in stock at the time. So that was just meant to be. And then these 4 I purchased at my local needle workshop. They didn't have all of them, so. And this is what they look like stitched together. Which I'm not really sure how I'm going to stitch them yet. If I'll do them together or separately. Okay. Thrift shopping. Look what I found. How stinking cute is she? And her little ponytail sticks out, her braid. She's knitting, guys. I can't even handle it. She's my new little friend. She's gonna hang in my craft room. $2.39, baby. I love it. When I went to our local needle workshop, there was a quilt shop that just opened like 2 weeks prior to me going there. So I couldn't not go. I mean, that's just silly. So I found this Meadow homegrown. These are 42 5-inch squares. And let me see if I can show you more of the patterns. There you go. This is not easy. Yeah, it's hard to show you with the label on it. But this one says like happiness, family, farm, super cute. So I think I'm going to incorporate these into the fabric I showed you in the last episode that I got at Joann Fabrics. I don't know if you remember it, but I think you'll remember when you see them all put together. I'm going to start that one soon. And then I got this pattern, the sewing pattern for nesting buckets, because they had them on display there, and I thought they were really cute when you use, you know, fabrics that coordinate with your home decor. And they're very, like, practical, and you could use them for a lot of things. So I bought this stabilizer that is recommended when I was there as well, and I have a ton of fabric, so I'll be able to do those. When I was at the local needle workshop, I also picked up these 3. Heart in Hand Halloween Night, Lizzie Kate Mary String, and Lizzie Kate Farm Sampler. Okay, I think that's it for haul. That's quite a bit. Again, two times in a row, but remember, it's been a month since I talked to you last time. So we have giveaway winners, and also one more giveaway. I made this using fabric that I purchased a long time ago for my aunt to make her a tote bag when she was going through chemotherapy. So I thought I would make an 8x8 Q-snap cover. out of some of the scraps. So it's just got breast cancer ribbons, and then words like survive, care, give, support, cure, things like that. So if you're interested in this, what should I have you answer? What's your favorite charity to give to? Just comment with that. Again, don't say giveaway. All the rules that applied for the cross-stitch chart apply for this. So feel free to, if you want to be entered for both, put both answers in one comment, because YouTube, when I pick a winner, it looks for unique comments. So anything that doesn't have 2 people commenting, like if you have 2 comments, it's only going to accept one of them towards the drawing. So if you want to enter for both, put both answers in one comment, and if you want to enter just for one, then just put your one answer. So I'll announce the winner for this on the next episode as well. So the winner for the Knitter's Pride Cubics DPN needles for knitting is Dottie Robbins. So congratulations, Dottie Robbins. Please contact me via email. My email address is in the down bar below. And let me know what your address is, and I'll get these sent out to you. And then the winner for the bobbin ring is Whitney Labe, L-A-B-B-E. Am I saying that right? So congratulations, Whitney. And the question or prompt to enter for this was, tell me what your favorite thing is to sew, and she likes to sew drawstring bags right now. So yay, you get this little bobbin saver. So contact me again via email and let me know what your address is. So that's all the crafty goodness I have to show you. I did get some fabric for a dress that I'm going to be sewing for our upcoming cruise in October. We're going to go on a Disney cruise, which is super fun. And before we get on the cruise ship, we're going to go to Universal to Harry Potter World. And I'm so excited about that. The boys are going to freak out. They're going to be so happy. So I wanted to sew a dress for that trip. So I will show you that in the next episode. I'm hoping to at least have the pieces cut for it. But I forgot to bring the sewing pattern over here to show you. I think that's it. Tomorrow we're going to go to a benefit, and then we're going to go to my in-laws' house for my brother-in-law's birthday dinner, and then we have another birthday party for our neighbors after that. So it's going to be a busy day, but I'm just loving this weather. Everybody's out of hibernation, the windows are open, the birds are chirping, the flowers are in bloom. It's just so refreshing. So I hope you all have a lovely week or two until I talk to you next time, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.